Hello, and welcome back to J.P.s Retro World. So last time I talked about Back to the Future Part 1. But then I realized, there's still stuff in my collection that I forgot to show you. So I'll show you that stuff, and we might as well get into the second movie. Why not? Back to the Future Part 2. Okay, sorry. Okay, so first we're going to start off with this. Now the box is kind of dirty because it's kind of old and worn down, but we'll go with this. Xbox 360. Back to the Future, the video game for Xbox 360. Now, this is actually kind of a cool deal, especially if you're a big fan of these movies. This game sort of acts as sort of like Part 4. This sort of acts as like Back to the Future Part 4, even though it's like really long. But like you could probably even break it down into Part 5. But for the most part, I actually played this game with ease. There's like one part of the game though that's frustrating. And I actually had to go on eBay to watch the walkthrough for this particular mission because it was just mind-numbingly just frustrating. Like I couldn't figure out the formula, what to do. But I finally went to the YouTube video to watch it, and even the guy showing how to do it was like cussing. He's like, "Oh man, this is frustrating, but this is how you do it." But yeah, that's very, very frustrating. But fun game, especially if you like these movies. It's kind of an adventure game, so very cool. Back to the Future, the video game. Let's put that right there. Okay, so now I already showed you this, but there's something on here that I didn't talk about that's actually really cool. So on this Blu-ray set, and it's also on the DVD set, but they actually have all the videos for Back to the Future, The Ride, from Universal Studios. Now, I remember going on that ride when I was younger. When I was a teenager, my family went to Hollywood, California. We went to Universal Studios, and I rode the Back to the Future simulator ride. And I thought it was very cool. It was very fun. And especially because being a fan of those movies, man, I thought it was awesome. But that ride is no longer there, which, is kind of sad, but also you have to think of in terms of Universal Studios' standpoint. They don't have, all the land that Disney does. They only have a certain amount of space. So sometimes they have to close old attractions to make way for new attractions, new exciting attractions, so that people can, have something new. So it gives people a reason to come back. So anyway, but the Back to the Future ride is actually on this Blu-ray collection, and it's awesome. And if you watch it, you just have to maybe kind of move your chair and then imagine yourself on the ride. So I'll put that right there as well. So next up, now this is something that my wife got me. I believe it was for my birthday, but it's this. The Back to the Future model car. This is the time machine from the very first movie. And what's cool about this is you put your finger in there, there's a button here, you push it, and look, it lights up. Very, very cool. My wife did a really good job with getting me this. Very cool. And obviously they automatically shut off eventually. I'll put that back here. So now the next thing I'm going to show you is actually something very cool that my wife and I did together, but it's the Back to the Future board game. Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. It's very good. There's kind of a shot of the back of the box there. Great Scott, Marty! Anyway, so this game is really fun, but unlike most board games where you're trying to win the game, or one person is trying to win the game against other players, in this game you're actually all working together to meet the objective. And it's actually very fun. You're actually like jumping like from timeline to timeline, trying to solve objectives. And then you have to close certain rifts in time and stuff. It's actually kind of fun. Okay, so Back to the Future Part 2. Now, some people actually like this movie the best just because it takes place in the future, which is funny because that future is now our past. Because in 1985, when the original movie came out, obviously 30 years into the future is 2015. Well, to us, now 2015 is in the past, and it seems like forever ago. But in Marty's perspective in the movie, it's 30 years in the future. So he goes into the future with the sole purpose, him and Doc go in the future with the sole purpose of stopping Marty's kids from going to jail, and which they succeed. But while they're gone, old man Biff steals the time machine and goes back in time and messes everything up to where he's rich and powerful and corrupt in the future. So that when Marty and Doc go back to 1985, everything's wrong. Everything's messed up. So they have to go back to 1955 and fix everything so that when they go back to 1985 once again, everything is back as it should. And so, anyway, so one of the things from this movie is this. This is a little small replica of a hoverboard that I got from the Five and Dime store in Branson. So it used to have two magnets here. One of them's missing, but this magnet's about to fall out, as you can see. But it comes like this little round table thing with a little peg in it, and it comes with like two of the magnetized like power lace Nikes that Marty wore in Back to the Future Part 2. So this is the hoverboard. Yeah, so, what's cool about the second movie is they kind of revisit and go back into the first movie, but see it from a different perspective. And I always like that about that movie. Um, and like I said on the last video, I like Elizabeth Shue. I think she's a great actress. She's a fine actress. And I thought she did a really good job of playing the role of Jennifer Parker in this movie. However, I kind of prefer the original Claudia Wells, but like I said, she just wasn't able to reprise her role in part 2 or part 3 because her mom was in poor health at the time, and so she had to take care of her mom. So you have to kind of give a hats off to her for that. And now I think she owns like a men's clothing store in Los Angeles somewhere. So anyway, but she appears at a lot of like Back to the Future related events, so I think it's cool for people that are fans of that movie that are in the Los Angeles area can actually like meet her and meet some of the cast that appears at some of these Back to the Future related events. And on, I think October, whatever it is from the first movie, on that date at like 1:15 in the morning, a lot of like DeLorean owners actually meet at what is the Twin Pines Mall in the movie, but they meet at the real mall, and they just meet and gather and just for fun, and they offer each other rides in each other's DeLorean. Some of them are decked out to look like the one from the movie, and it's actually a really cool event. But nevertheless, I liked Back to the Future Part 2. Now, Part 2 and 3 I liked probably equally. Did I like them as much as the original? No, but I still like them a lot, and it's still my favorite movie trilogy of all time. So, there you have it. And eventually, I'd like to get posters for the second and third movie, but you have to have a place to hang them. That's the only problem. My wife wants space to hang stuff too. Like, we have this Titanic movie poster that we got that we're eventually going to get framed and or laminated, and we're eventually going to hang that up because both of her and I are both fans of the Titanic and the Titanic movie and the Titanic attraction in Branson. It's a museum. Anyway, then I'm going off subject. Back to the Future Part 2. So really cool movie. Back to the Future trilogy presented by Universal Pictures, directed by Robert Zemeckis, and Steven Spielberg was the producer, so it's going to be good. So there you have it. Back to the Future Part 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll do this one more time because I just think it's really cool. Ah! Ooh, it lights up. That's very cool. Anyway, I know that was weird and awkward. That's just who I am. I'm kind of weird. Anyway, so that was Back to the Future Part 2. I loved that movie. I loved all three of them. And so eventually I will cover the third one. Will it be in the next video? I don't know. Nevertheless, there you have it. Back to the Future Part 2. So that is going to do it for this video. So if you're new here, please take the time to go ahead and click that like button. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time.